This is another episode of Straight from the Block, only on 92.6 WKBP. The Spot. I am your host, Deplano. My co-host, holla at them for this evening. Holla at them, people.
Well, you already know, man. I'm gonna go first, man, because I'm so happy to see my brother Harlem Ferg. But I'm gonna let y'all know that Mr. Martin is in the building, aka Ashton Martin. You third? We ready to get it straight from the Blizzy. I'm on the Blizzy. Excuse the noise in the background, but we got to give you the live feedback sometimes. You heard? Because the name of the show is Straight from the Block.
How we doing, y'all? It's Haitian Ferg out here. I got my little one with me because she don't know what it's like to go to sleep on time. All right. But we here. We here to talk. We here to talk from the block. You already know I'm always hyped to be on. So happy to be on here with y'all.
Yeah, you see, my man got the red cup, so you know he on the block for real. But once you see a red cup, you already know.
Yep.
Hand pain will spill. Hand pain will spill.
Yep.
So let's get started. Let's recap. We got a lot. He got the Don't be drinking from the baby's bottle.
Nah.
Ferg goes straight to the store. He ain't even drink for the bottle. Yeah, he's like, I ain't even got to do that. Oh, man. So listen, we got a lot to catch up on. I want to start by just shouting out the let's start with primetime. I got to start with primetime. Let's start with what's really, really important. We'll backtrack in a minute. But shout out to primetime and Colorado doing a thing, first game of the season. His son breaking records. Listen, what I love most about this.
We believe, you heard?
What'd you say?
That's what we believe.
Yeah, we've been believed. We've been believed. We wasn't the ones skeptical. We wasn't the ones skeptical. I want to make that clear. No, we wasn't the ones doubting Prime, right? I'm not gonna sit here and act like I expected what we saw. But I expected it to come out and put people on notice.
Right.
I expected that, no doubt. But he came through and he put on. And now, rest of the season, he's going to be on primetime. They're gonna find a way to put him on TV every game now. I feel like every week he's gonna mess around and be on somebody's channel. He's gonna be on somebody's channel.
So listen, I mean, they're already calling him the face of college football right now. As a coach, they're calling him the face of college football. Not Caleb Williams, the guy that won the Heisman last year from USC. He's not the face of college football right now. It's prime. You heard? It's prime time. Because he keep receipts. I'm talking receipts.
And you know something, it's two dynamics to it too. You got the HBCU people that's still chirping at him. Then you got the traditional ESPN people that's coming after him, talking about, oh, we don't like his style and he's to this and he's to that. Prime told him since last year, I'm bringing it. I'm bringing a different kind of energy to a league that they're not really ready for what we about to do. And for them to show up the way they did on that first game, they did their thing. His son is an NFL QB. His son could ball.
So, listen, I'm glad you brought that up, right? Because everybody may had something to say when Coach Prime said that he was coming to Colorado and he was bringing his luggage with him. The haters took that literally. They thought that he was talking about the luggage, the Louis Vuitton luggage that he was bringing with him, not knowing that he was talking about the value of the transfers that was coming with him from Jackson State to Colorado to the Big Ten to the prime time to show everybody that we does this anywhere. Because football is football. Y'all try to make different divisions and try to say we ain't good enough, but we know football is football, man. And I don't care if it's in my backyard, if it's in your house, if it's in your mama's house. If we believe and we prepared, you gonna get a motherfucking game from us. So, man,
right.
We got that coach. So we did. You know what I mean? And like he got players that's been playing with him since prep, since they were 6 years old. His son, he got a bunch of believers in him. He got rid of a bunch of the whatever. Like we got to remember that Colorado was 1-11 last year, brothers. They were 1-11. The last time they won a game was August 2022. They were 1-11. They're not a premier team. They're not a premier organization. Like, no. But when these players come through and when the real coach come through, TCU, who was just in the championship game versus Georgia, even though they were outclassed versus Georgia 67-7, I'm not gonna not bring that up. But the fact that Colorado, did y'all see the game? Did y'all see how exciting that game was though? Like, forget anything. As a football fan, did you watch that game and see how back-to-back it was? You get the ball, I'm going to score. You get the ball. Like, the last person that got the ball is going to score. But then Colorado's defense made a play. I thought TCU was going to win because they had the ball. But Colorado's defense made a play, and it's like, wow. But that fourth quarter was amazing because it was back-to-back. It was amazing. Like.
Let's be specific. It was Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter made the play. Travis Hunter made the play. That man on both sides of the ball made the play to win the game. Let's call this guy out and put his name out there. That man made
Travis
the play
Hunter,
to win the game. And Exactly. Shouts out to him, proving exactly why he's a number one recruit. Why he came to play for Prime. And listen, what was it? 3 or 4? 4 wide receivers had 100 yards. 4
I think
wide receivers.
4 over 100. 4 over 100.
Yeah, 4 receivers over 100 yards. Listen. I'm not sure if his son is an NFL quarterback, but right now. But what I will say is he's nice. He's definitely a college quarterback, and we're gonna see how far they're gonna go. So now that we got the praise out the way, right? I want a prediction from you guys. Right? They put up the schedule. What you think Colorado's gonna finish? What you think they're gonna be the next 11 games? After the next 11 games, if you had to put a record out there for Dion and Colorado, what would the record be?
I think they can make a bowl game.
What record do they need to have to make it to a bowl game?
I say that I think they can make it, but they can't lose more than 2. Can't lose more than 2 because you know how the establishment is. They already don't want you there. Now, but they're gonna use you as the story to get everybody to watch, right? But you can't lose more than 2. If you might have to go undefeated so that you really make it difficult. But
That's a fact. Just cause they might say, listen, if they don't go undefeated, they ain't going nowhere. So this is the schedule. This is the schedule just for anybody that doesn't know. The next game is against Nebraska. Then they play Colorado State. Then they play Oregon, Arizona State, Stanford, UCLA, Oregon State, Arizona, Washington State, and then Utah.
It's doable. What I'm worried about is they're going to talk about that strength of schedule nonsense. But like I said, if they go undefeated and it's like, convincing wins, he's got to make noise so that it would be a travesty to not put them in. That's my thing.
So I think it's going to start next week because I think Nebraska is going to be a tough out, right? I think Nebraska's going to be a tough out. And if they lose that game, they're already going to be right in
behind
that
the 8 ball.
I think they'll beat. Exactly. I think Colorado State is a win. I think they could beat Oregon. T is going to be a challenge. I think they could beat Arizona State. Stanford's going to be tough. I think they could beat UCLA. Oregon State, I think they could win that game. Arizona might be tough. I'm not sure. Washington State, I think they could win, and I think they'll struggle. Utah might be a tough out. So they could easily, for 12 games, they could be 8-4, 7-5. It could go either way. It could go either way. Kay, talk your shit. What you think? You heard the schedule, Kay. What do you think?
I'm thinking 10-1, 9-2.
There we go.
Taking into consideration is that TCU was the class of the division. TCU has been undefeated damn near the last 2 years. Okay, a lot of people from that TCU team is in the NFL right now, but the reason why this game was such a big statement game was because TCU was undefeated last year in the division. So the Oregons, the Stanfords, and all these teams you're talking about, they're not supposed to be as good as TCU, And if Colorado went toe for toe, play for play with TCU, and then their defense came up and made the play at the end of the game, I don't think these other schools is going to be able to hold the candle to them for that long, to be honest with you. If TCU is the best that the division and the conference has for them, then let's say 10-1. And they got to be 10-1 to even make that playoff, because they're still not in the number one division. Because for TCU, when TCU went there last year, they were the first team from this division. I'm not sure because I'm not that big of a college dude, but I know that they were the first team from this division to even play in a championship game. You know what I'm saying? So when Georgia outclassed them, it wasn't like a big surprise because it wasn't supposed to be there. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, Prime, if they just did this, if they went toe for toe with TCU, then there's nobody on their schedule who they can't beat. We believe. You heard? I started off the show by saying we believe because that's what Prime went into the locker room telling his players. We believe. We belong here. We keep receipts. We believe and we belong here. So I'm a believer. They belong. And I'm saying 10-1, if not undefeated. If TCU is the best they got to offer, then let's go. Because Prime's team is only going to get better. They realize what they did in week 1, and they want more of this. They want more smoke. They see who their coach is. They know who their coach is. They've been around him since they was little kids. They know they have full grasp of what they're doing right now. And I feel like he has the right group of kids around him to lead him to where he needs to where he is right now. The face of college football. Not just for right now, but for the next few years, because everybody's going to want to play for him.
Right.
Do you realize that in the press conference, he wasn't talking about his son being a Heisman hopeful. He was talking about Travis Hunter because Travis Hunter plays both offense and defense. So he was talking about him. He said, hey, we missed 2 bombs to him. If we didn't miss them bombs to him, so he's already criticizing his son, saying, hey, he didn't call out his son by name, but he said, hey, we missed 2 bombs to him. If we would have capitalized on those 2 bombs to him, the Heisman would have already been at his front door because of what he did on the defensive end too. And he still had over 100 receiving. But if he'd have caught them 2 bombs, he'd have probably been over 200 yards receiving and still being a shutdown corner because that interception he made was retarded. I'm just being honest with you. The interception he made, the instincts that he showed on that interception was.
That's all I think all of that is fact. All of that is fact. But yeah, I don't want. Shout out to Deion Sanders. Shout out to Prime Time.
One more thing, D. I don't see them playing. They're not playing the Alabamas. They're not playing the USCs. You know what I'm saying? They're not playing the big time players that's in college football right now. They're playing the dudes in their division. You know, the Stanfords, like you said, you know, the Nebraskas, you know, but we don't even know the star players on those teams. We know that they have good programs, but we don't know their star players by name. They don't have name, you know, NIL getting money players right now.
You know they do play USC actually. They do play USC. Listen,
that could all change if Deion is the cash cow that ESPN thinks he's gonna be when it comes to ratings and all that. All of that can change. And this is why coaches like Nick Saban didn't like that whole transfer portal nonsense, because for them, it opens the door for a Deion to come in and destroy what they took years to build. He could literally destroy that in 2 to 3 years. If they outperform what everyone thinks they're going to do and he becomes an attraction, players are going to want to play there too. Guess what? That NIL money going to be going to Colorado. It ain't impossible.
Listen, you're not even close. You're so on point. Forget far-fetched. You're so on point. And that's what they're afraid of. They're afraid that the way that this is starting is going to end bad for everybody else. Because you know what? They ain't never been a Deion Sanders in college football. Let's make this real clear. They ain't never been a Deion Sanders. Nobody this likable, nobody this polarizing, and nobody who's done it on a professional level and now coming to college football and doing it on this level. Not been done. So you know what? The way that he brings media and he knows exactly what to say to get people going and the, like you said, the slogans, the statements.
I keep receipts. I keep receipts.
Yeah, listen.
Don't talk
the
like
youth love to play for that man.
My boy.
The youth love to play for this man. Since youth football, they love to play for Deion. So the worst thing that can happen to college football is that there's a likable coach that people want to play for. And everybody's and there's a transfer portal. They're gonna be like, fuck you, Saban. You was talking shit. I ain't like what you were saying. I'm out. Transfer. Deion, you got room for me over here?
Because for a lot of these dudes, right? It's not like college basketball where these guys love their coaches so much. Like how guys from Michigan love Izzo and guys from Duke love Coach K. Niggas don't love Nick Saban. In they ass all day. But they know if I go to Alabama, people gonna see me, I'm gonna get drafted. You get what I'm saying? But now if I know I could go play for Deion, I'm gonna have fun, I'm gonna get money, I'm gonna get drafted.
Yeah, all three. I'm gonna have fun. They shining a light on us, so I'm still gonna get drafted. Listen, it's a plus. It's a plus if you come play for Deion. There's no downfall. Unless you're not prepared, unless you Cam Reddish.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started.
Yeah, I did that just to get you going.
I'll change the background right now. I'll put the Knicks wallpaper. We can have a whole nother chat.
Don't do it.
No, leave the Jets. It's officially football season. You leave the Jets right there, okay, sir? It's officially football season. Leave it right there. So listen, gosh. I wanna go into the next topic, but first I want to give some shout outs to Sha'Carri Richardson winning the 100 meter and medaling in the 200 meter. I want to shout out Noah Lyles, who won gold in the 100 and the 200 meter. And I want to shout out Lulaine Tusawa Collins, 25-year-old Black woman who won the discus throw.
Oh, wow.
World record in the discus throw. She's the first U.S. women's world champion in the discus throw.
Wow.
And she did it with ease. I had to shout her out. 25 years old, did her thing. With that being said, I want to play a clip from Noah Lyles and see what you guys think about it. We're gonna comment on that.
I have to watch the NBA finals and they have world champion on their head. World champion of what? The United States? Don't get me wrong. I love the U.S. at times, but that ain't the world. That is not the world. We are the world. We have almost every country out here fighting, thriving, putting on their flag to show that they are represented. There ain't no flags in the NBA.
So he's been getting a lot of flack for that comment, right? NBA players have come out, say he must not know what the hell he's talking about. All this, that, and the third. They've been coming for his Kofi. He ain't said nothing. But then, the USA lost to Lithuania. and immediately, Noah Lyles came out with a tweet.
Oh.
Like, I guess Lithuania has better players than the United States. Like, what are we talking about now? So for everybody, and I did not go and look for everyone who's come for his Kofi. I'm not naming names. I'm not going to even read off what they said, but they basically made it sound like he didn't know what the hell he was talking about. He was talking crazy, and he was feeling himself because he just won the 100 and the 200 meter and is now world champion in both. But so I want to get you guys' opinion. I believe he has a point. I agree. And if it wasn't a competition, right? If it wasn't a competition, I don't think if we got the best U.S. basketball players, right? Just the best U.S. basketball players, it might be different, right? Because not all the best U.S. basketball players go and volunteer and be in the Olympics, right?
Right.
But that does not mean that people from other countries who are also NBA players, right, could not beat the U.S. in a game, right? The Dream Team swept the floor. The original Dream Team swept the floor with the world, right?
Facts.
They swept the floor with the world. That was a long time ago. It took quite some time before we got to that place again. And I don't believe we've done it on that level. Now, of course, once again, you got to get everybody to participate. The LeBron James of the world or whoever, right? Kevin Durant. We got to get everybody to participate. But I'll leave this door open and let you guys and get your opinion on what you guys think of regards to this.
I'll say this. In the literal sense, he's 100% right. In the literal sense. Because I heard somebody make this case when it comes to soccer, for example. The best league in soccer is English Premier League, right? When they win in English Premier League, they don't call themselves world champions because they have the World Cup. So whoever wins the World Cup is the world champion. So to that degree, I completely understand it, which is why a lot of people hate the fact that baseball calls it the World Series. I get it. The thing is, yes, the best players in the world play in the best league. Now, I think the question people are asking is, let's just say you took the top U.S. born players, right? And the top international players from other countries. Like you talking about Giannis and Luka on the same team. And you build in a team of all international players versus the U.S. team, the U.S. team would get killed. You know why? Because a lot of the best players in the United States right now that play in the NBA
from the United States.
Thank you. So it's one of those things where you got to give David Stern credit for developing the game overseas. But let's call it what it is. Nigeria is going to be dominating the league in a few years. Giannis is just the first guy. Giannis ain't the first guy. Hakeem was the first guy. Think about that, right? So, and when you got Slovenia with Luka, you got Germany with Dirk, Tony Parker with France, you know. So my thing is, eventually, the NBA may have to alter that world champion thing, but that's only an American thing because Americans are just arrogant. I know that. Because even in the NFL, it's world champions, right? Baseball is world champions. Meanwhile, in hockey, they call it the Stanley Cup. And there's no world champions in hockey. So my thing is, he's right in the literal sense. The other thing, too, that he also needs to realize is there is no league for, like, do you watch track and field every day, every night? Are you tuning in on Tuesday nights for the Eastern Conference game and the Western Conference run? No, right? For them, for certain types of competition, all they have is the World Championships and the Olympics. So for them, it's more meaningful. Whereas for LeBron, it's like, yo, why am I going to play in the Olympics? Y'all not even paying me half of what I make a game to go play in the Olympics, right? Meanwhile, my NBA team don't even want me to play because if I get hurt there, I can't play for the... So it's just different. And for a track and field star, I completely understand it. From a American professional league player, whatever the league is, I can clearly see where the pinnacle for them is an NBA championship or a Super Bowl, you know, or a World Series. It ain't the gold medal. Carmelo Anthony got how many gold medals? They're not going to put him in the stratosphere with Wade and LeBron because he ain't got no rings. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, it's who you ask. Because the NBA players are going to feel some kind of way, and he's going to feel some kind of way. But it's who you ask, in my opinion. But in the literal sense, he's right.
Okay, what do you...
So for me, literally he's right, but he's wrong at the same damn time. He's wrong at the same time because there's so many players in the NBA that play for their teams. They don't try to play for the United States. They're not trying to play. They represent their squad and they out there going dumb and they put themselves on a different type of stage. And they put themselves in a different type of stratosphere when they can perform for their country. Fuck the United States. Fuck America. I'm that nigga in Jordan, says Rondae Hollis Jefferson. Do we remember who the fuck Rondae Hollis Jefferson is, ladies and gentlemen? Do we remember who he is?
Yes.
I remember who he is because I'm a Brooklyn Nets nigga. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Brooklyn Nets fan, so I remember who the fuck Rondae Hollis Jefferson is. But that man took it upon himself to play for his hometown country of Jordan and reinvent himself. I guarantee you are going to see this man in the NBA this year. Because if y'all don't know it, I'm going to tell y'all real quick, right? He has reinvented himself in the image of Kobe.
Yes, I seen it. Yep.
Like Kobe, he moves like Kobe now. He got straight Mamba mentality, and he's been crushing it and absolutely killing it for fucking Jordan. He's been one of the most primetime players in the whole fucking world ever since he's been representing his country. You got niggas like Luka. Do we know what Luka looks like right now? Last year for the Dallas Mavericks, we got fat, out of shape Luka. Right now for Serbia, we're getting skinny Luka.
Yeah.
Have y'all seen Luka? Have y'all seen Luka recently since he's been playing for his home country? So when you look at the dedication for players like that, who's not American born, you see we Americans only look at it from an American perspective. But when you look at it from somebody that's born outside of America, this is the top competition. And this
Yes.
is prime for their country. And this is how I get my natives on the map. I represent them. So big up Sir Rondae Hollis Jefferson, my boy, because you found your way back in the NBA. I guarantee it, my boy. You found your way back in the NBA. I hope it's with Brooklyn. I hope we're smart enough to bring you back home, my boy. You know what I'm talking about? I hope we're smart enough to bring you back home, my boy. But
Leon Rose gonna call him real quick.
you know what I'm saying? Because
Shut up.
so another player who's still active right now. What's my guy name? Dennis Schroeder for Germany.
Oh yeah.
Still active right now. Schroeder's going dumb. Schroeder's going dumb. Lucas been going dumb. Rondae Hollis been going dumb. Schroeder's been going dumb. You know what I'm saying? Like these players been representing their country and they put their whole country on their back. Fuck America, B. Fuck America.
Listen,
America, but if I represent for my country, I'm gonna be forever. It's like I know people that won championships for their college team. Like my man played for Syracuse, and he's the man for Syracuse forever because he made it to the NBA. But he didn't do shit in the NBA. Imagine being the man in your country.
Mm-hmm.
We know people that got the key to New York City. Imagine having the key to Jordan. Imagine having the key to Serbia. Imagine having a key to Slovenia. Like, imagine having a key to your whole fucking country.
But that's why I want to just make this point real quick. That's why his comments to me rings bells harder than what anybody else is talking about. Because the world is the world. The United States is very small in comparison to the world. Mm-hmm. And when you do something on the world stage, it's completely different to me than when you do it on the NBA stage. Just like the World Cup, that's why we could think football, we could think whatever we want. Excuse me, American football is like the most popular. So no. It's the World Cup because it includes the world. It's people from all over their countries supporting their country in a game. It's completely different than the NBA.
You want to know something too? I think a lot of it also has to do with where your parents are from. You know, like for example, I'm Haitian, right? My father grew up a fan of Brazil soccer team. So as a child, I've always grown up understanding the Olympics is a big deal. World championships are a big deal. So that's why I fell in love with the 92 Dream Team, because I'm like, yo, we got a team. Because, I'll never forget Michael Johnson, 1996, with the gold Nikes, when he was breaking world records in Atlanta. That meant something to me as a kid. Now, as an adult, I have to say I've tapered off a little bit when it comes to Olympics, because I realize I'm more along the lines of the sports I like to watch. But the World Cup still has my attention. And it's just the American way to think that only the way we do things matter. like they swear Cadillac Escalade is the best truck ever made, like the Toyota Land Cruiser hasn't been there for years. You get what I'm saying? It's like, it's just the American way to think that there's only one way to do things. When in reality, you know, if we had more of a global mindset, like let's just say for basketball, because Kobe said something, God rest his soul. If they taught the game the way the fundamental style is taught overseas, it would completely destroy AAU. Completely destroy it. Because we have a league of specialists now. When you see the way Lithuania beat us, it wasn't a matter of specialization. It was just, here's how we play. We got a system, and we're going to do this because we know you can't counter. Even though that was the US B team, they still would have given the USA team work. I'm not saying they would have beaten the USA team, but whenever you see teams that play structured ball like that, fundamentally sound, they could get some random dude that works at freaking IKEA on and he'll bust your ass. Why? Because they playing with a team concept that we don't know how to play.
Well, I think to your point, there's a young guy that's playing when Puerto Rico went up against Dominican Republic or what, and he went toe to toe with Cat. He had 40 points. I believe he had 40 points in that game, but nobody knows who this dude is. Right. Nobody knows who this dude is. But because of this stage, once again, because of this stage, he got to shine and he put people on notice that he knows what he's doing. And I don't think he was doing anything special. I just think he was fundamentally sound and then confident. That's just what I saw.
And guess what? They got tape on all your guys. You got no tape on them.
That's a fact.
They watch you every night. They've been waiting for 8 years to make you go left. So that's the other thing too.
Here's my thing. For me personally, I feel like Lithuania had a good game. They had a good game. They shot the ball out of this world. They took advantage of their size, even though Sabonis ain't even played. They still took advantage of their size that they had against USA. But I feel like if that same team plays this same US team 5 times, they lose 4 times. That's the one time they're going to win. Because that same Lithuania team just lost to Serbia. They got smoked by Serbia. And I feel like we're going to smoke Serbia. You understand? So it's just like they had their game. It was their game. It was their day. They shot like 70% from behind the line. Everybody who could rebounded. It was their day. But what Anthony Ant-Man Edwards has shown in this round of playoffs is not going to go unnoticed. Like the way how he's representing and the way how he has shown that I am that dude. I am just not that dude in Minnesota. That Cat is my son. I'm happy you just brought up Cat and somebody dropping 40 on Cat. Who's dropped 40 on Ant-Man? Who don't respect Ant-Man? Nobody. Nobody that he has played against don't know. That's that nigga right there. If that's the best player America got to offer, we in fucking trouble. We in fucking trouble. If that's the young boy in America, we see where the fuck we at. Because he's fucking representing. And I feel like when he come back this year, it's gonna mean a lot. He's gonna be a man against boys. Even my dude, Mikal Bridges, everybody who's over there playing right now, Pablo Banchero is there. Remember how Pablo Banchero came and looked like he was ready for the NBA in his rookie season, and now all of a sudden he's across seas looking like, yo, I'm the best center for this fucking team right now. Once I get on this floor, I'm a problem. Tyrese Halliburton is balling right now. It's like these young boys is about to come in the NBA on a different high because they was just representing the world on another level. And I feel like they're going to take home the gold. So,
well, listen, this is just qualifying, right? This is just qualifying, right? Am I correct? This is just to qualify for the Olympics.
This FIBA means a lot all around. On a whole lot of different levels, it means a whole lot. Because these young boys are taking a lot of experience and a lot of confidence from their time right now, representing the USA. I don't care what you say. They got USA across their chest. You know what I'm saying? So they representing their country right now.
I think what's really I want to touch on Anthony Edwards for 1 second because I thought that was a great point that you brought up, Kay. What I think he's doing, he just opened the market up crazy for himself. Because what I think is going to happen is that whatever people thought of him, I think plenty of people already thought he was nice. But whatever you thought of him, that's jumped through the roof. And the reality is you realize he can't be what we're seeing in the Olympics on that current team. So that means they're either going to gut that team out for him to be the focus, or he's going to go somewhere else. where he could be that guy. I think teams are going to throw the book at Minnesota.
Staying in Minnesota, you already hear Big Cat name whispering coming to New York, going to Portland. You already hear Big Cat is not that dude.
Listen, you already know I don't think Cat's that dude.
But listen though,
he's not that guy. He's not that guy.
We never thought Cat. Listen, none of us ever thought Cat was that guy. None of us. What I'm saying is this: if he's the man, he's the man. If Ant-Man is the man, he got to be the man. And I don't really see Cat. Get Cat out of there. Whatever you got to do. But what I'm saying is, they got Gobert. They got this dude. You got to make a decision. Somebody got to go. Because I don't think Cat's going to take a necessary backseat and play Robin and Ant-Man. And that's the bottom line.
Here's the thing. They actually play better without Cat for the sole fact that pairing him and Gobert wasn't really the right move to make from jump. And then the other thing, too, the Cat move, it's not going to be as easy because he's got $62 million owed to him in his last year, if I'm not mistaken. They've been trying to dump his contract. Nobody's biting. So that's going to be the other part where I agree.
You heard it here first. I mean, it's not the first time, but it's been rumored that Big Cat to the New York.
He's not coming to the Knicks, man. Listen, you Brooklyn net.
I've heard it.
Brooklyn net. Stop trying to debacle the fucking Knicks,
All I'm gonna say is, if they bring Cat here, I'm blaming it all on D. I'm blaming it all on him.
Don't blame it on me.
If y'all got rid of Mitch Robinson and Julius Randle for fucking Big Cat, you wouldn't like that, D?
No, I wouldn't like that. No, sir.
As much as D can't stand Randle, he'll take Randle over Cat.
Topic. Let's go. Let's go next topic. We can stay.
Let's go. Let's leave the Olympics.
Y'all do they bringing up these topics right at the end of the segment. I'm getting hype already.
Nah, don't get, because he see where it's going. He see your energy level going. It's like you talk Curtis Super Saiyan. He can see the glow
right here, man.
He can see the glow, Ferg. He sees your hair starting to grow back. He's like, we got to stop.
No. Listen, if we get Cat, maybe the hair will grow back. It'll shoot right out my head. But right now, this is it.
So listen, let me end I'm sorry, I have to go back to this real quick. Let me end the Olympic talks to just shout out Sha'Carri Richardson again. She went from snatching off wigs and showing the world what she was really about. No, seriously, she snatched off the wig before the race and started putting people on notice. Hard body after that. I love the love between her and the rest of the women, the Jamaican women specifically, that was in that 100-meter and the 200-meter. They showed much love to one another. It was great seeing her. I love to see her growth, her progress, and congratulations on being a world champion. So we're gonna move on to First Take. So we got my guy on the First Take guy here. So I had to get this in here, and I want to know how did he feel besides him calling Stephen A. Skip on a regular basis? How did you feel about the first time seeing Stephen A. and Shannon Sharpe on First Take together? I'll leave it to you guys to get it.
I love it. It is entertainment. You can tell it's entertainment. But the thing is, Shannon brings a different kind of dynamic to the show. He really does. And I gotta give Stephen A. credit. Stephen A. has put together some of the best Black talent on sports talk, like for television. He doesn't just put Black faces on there. They're qualified people. It's people that's played in the league before, people that's managed in the league before, from like all aspects, all sports. And to be able to bring in Shannon, to pair him up with Swagoo and Ryan for like NFL talk, I think it's great. And the beauty of it too is it's not an everyday thing. You're not gonna see Stephen A and Shannon every day. I think it's like 2 days a week. Then he's basically keeping it fresh. So I like what they're doing over there. I see that whatchamacallit, Skip tried to compete and basically tried to bring in all the people that ESPN let go. All right, we'll see how that goes. But what Stephen A's doing, and it's funny because he doesn't usually get a lot of credit for that. He's bringing some color to the airwaves, and you know it's quality. I like it. I have to say I like it.
I totally agree with you, and I love you, for my brother, for going to that point of view and bringing that perspective to the show, because I love the pairing for the Black culture. I love what Stephen is doing. I love that he reached out for him, and to have two strong personalities that's gonna they're not gonna they're not these are two brothers who's not gonna get along, or they're not gonna do anything against their will. They're so strong minded, and they're both media personalities where they're not going to back down from each other. You know. So the question was, my dude, the Plowner, the question was, how do we feel about him calling him Skip? I feel like it's just growing pains. You know, it's the first few times. He's just been doing it with Skip for so long.
That wasn't a real question. I want you to know that, Kay. That wasn't a real question. Right. I just mentioned it. I really just wanted to know how you felt about seeing them for the first time. They're definitely going to be growing pains.
Seeing them for the first time is powerful. It's powerful because it's good for TV. I was just complaining about all these females they bringing on television and all these females they bringing on First Take, besides Molly and besides Swagoo. They had like 3 females and 1 guy on there the other day, and that shit made me sick to my motherfucking stomach. And I voiced my opinions on that because this is what this show is all about. We straight from the motherfucking block, and I'm right here on the block. You know what I'm talking about? So, but to see Shannon there with Stephen A is powerful in a lot of ways. It's entertainment in a lot of ways. I hope it's long lasting, and they're gonna bring the best out of each other. And that's why Stephen A was so excited to make it happen. And that's why Shannon was so quick to accept, because as competitors, they're going to bring the best out of each other. And we deserve that on television at any level. People who are going to bring the best competition out of each other, you know? And that's what those two brothers are going to bring. And I appreciate it.
You know what? Yeah. All I'm going to say is this. I ain't got nothing negative to say about the two of those brothers. I'm glad that they paired up together. But I'm just waiting for them to have the first heated discussion, because that's where it's gonna be entertaining. Okay, I want to see a vein popping Shannon Sharpe's neck, his muscle neck, right?
Hey, you
know what I'm saying? He's like, I want to see him get crazy, agitated, and I want to see Stephen A with his hairline receding right in front of the television while he's getting heated. I want all that to happen on live television with these two guys. That's when it's going to be official to me. It ain't going to be the respectable, we two colleagues conversation. I need the two going at it.
You're not going to have to wait long. This is the NFL.
Week one. It's going to happen.
Remember now, Stephen A. Smith is a valid, hardcore Pittsburgh Steelers fan, and we know Shannon played for Denver. We ain't got to ask that question. So they're not going to agree on a lot of things, because football is football. That's all I'm going to say. We ain't going to.
And Stephen A is going to be more aggressive when it comes to basketball, whereas Shannon is going to own him on NFL. It's just going to be Shannon correcting Steve on every point he got to make when it comes to the NFL. But it's good though, because with Steven needs to be challenged so that he can reach into his bag. And with Shannon, it's the same. And to Kay's point, steel sharpens steel. It's only going to make them better. So I definitely like it. Another point you made Because I saw it on the previous podcast, but I didn't get a chance to respond. I don't necessarily have an issue with them bringing women on. Just bring on women that played. Like, I love Monica McNutt. She is amazing.
You can't bring women to talk football though. There's no women that play football.
So see, here's the thing. If you want to bring them on from a sideline
I'm sorry, Haitian. I'm sorry, Ferg. I got a breaking news. I have to interrupt you.
What?
Christian Wood.
I just seen it.
Wood. I'm like, yo.
You see the shit? Not because of what you said, Haitian Fergus, because of what D's about to fucking report right now.
I know. I seen it. Rich Paul doing his work, bro.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. But okay, go ahead.
Rich Paul going to work.
Continue.
Yeah. So, like, for example, y'all remember Josina Anderson? I didn't mind Josina Anderson. You know why? Because she was a sideline reporter who had legit contacts, where what she's telling you is stuff she's getting straight from the locker room, straight from the sidelines. She might not break down X's and O's with you, but what I don't like is some of those shows are so scripted where you could just throw anybody on there. They don't necessarily need to know anything about the sport. So that's why they're able to do it. So I understand your point. But when you want a real unscripted presentation, if you're not going to bring in somebody that played, you got to bring in somebody that know people. Because Stephen A. never played professionally, but every player in the league know how to reach him if they need to. You get what I'm saying? So if he talks about the NBA, you're going to listen, right? Where if Josina Anderson reported something, you already know she's telling you something that she heard from the locker room. So, and like I said, to go back, I think Monica McNutt is amazing. I love her on MSG. I love her on ESPN. You can tell she knows the game. So when she speaks, I listen. And I think they just need to put people there that know what they're talking about.
Like I said in the previous show, I think the people that know they're talking about the best are the people that played the game. And
I agree.
That's why I like the Candace Parker. That's why I like one of the
Chiny.
Yeah, Chine. I like those type of casters or analysts, excuse me. But sticking to the NFL season kicks off on September 7th, which is this Thursday. Detroit Lions and the Kansas City Chiefs. So I know this is when K starts to get power up because the NFL is officially here. We got the Jets fan in the background. So tell me what's your prediction. Is the first game of the season a smacking, or do you expect Detroit to give KC some problems?
I'll let K go on this one, man.
Breaking news, in case you didn't hear it, Travis Kelce is not going to play this week.
Yeah,
Travis Kelce hyperextending his knee today, and there's no way that he's going to play on Thursday. Possibly, if the game was going to be played on Sunday, there would have been a chance that he's going to play on Sunday. But because there's no possibility that they're going to move the game because of one player, and he's not playing on Thursday because today is Tuesday, and the hyperextension happened today, I feel like the Detroit Lions are going to win this game. They're going to win this game because KC is not the same with no Travis Kelce. They're not the same. And the thing is that we don't realize, like I said, if this injury would have happened on Friday of last week, on Saturday, even Sunday, this injury happened today. This show is being recorded on Tuesday. This injury happened today, under 48 hours after. So the game plan for this week has already been implemented with Travis Kelce playing the positions that he plays. So if I'm not playing these positions and them having to rotate and they don't have the same type of quality player, it's just not next man up when you're trying to replace Travis Kelce.
Yeah, I agree 1,000%.
They've had all season to prepare for not having their number one defensive player. So on defense, they may be all right because Spags is a motherfucking monster. Spagnola is a motherfucking monster. So for one game, for a few games, he can make up for them not having the big homie on defense. But when you don't have the big homie on offense and it's less than 72 hours before the game and you don't have time to prepare, and Detroit is already a dangerous team who they've been preparing for you since over a month now, I got Detroit winning, man. I got Detroit winning.
Is it a close win or is it
like 35-21?
Oh,
wow.
38 prediction. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know.
Martin is picking the Detroit Lions to at least have to beat KC by more than a touchdown.
Well, let's not forget, Detroit did finish off the year last year playing very well on both sides of the ball. And given that Kelce is Mahomes' safety valve when everything else goes to shit, I could see Detroit beating them. I don't know if it would be by 2 touchdowns. I could see Kansas City having the ball late, trying to make a run, and then Detroit kills it off. Maybe they lose by a touchdown or a field goal. I could see something like 24-17 or 24-21, something like that. I could see that.
I'll just say, listen, I think it's interesting because y'all picking against the Mahomes, Pat Mahomes. And I understand what Kelce means to Pat, but it's Pat Mahomes. So, he performs miracles and he does things on that football field. So I'm surprised I'm hearing this, but I'm not. I'm usually the guy that picks the Kay knows I'm usually the one that picks the underdog and surprise people with the pick.
Yeah, I took your spot. But you know what it is? What it is that it's not even disrespect to Kansas City, it's respect for what Detroit has done on both sides of the field. And in week 1, everybody's healthy. Everybody's healthy, and Dan Campbell is getting his team ready. We saw what Deion Sanders did when he had his guys ready. We believe. I went in, I heard Dan Campbell already talking about, this is a game that we're supposed to get slapped. They put us against the world champ, and everybody expects us to get our ass kicked. We're coming in here to get our ass kicked. So mentality-wise, he got his team wired and ready to go. You know what I'm saying? As a head coach, he's going to have them boys ready to play, man. He had them ready to play for a long time now because this has been week 1 for them. You know what I'm saying? So it's just the timing of Travis Kelce's injury is so huge.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even the injury, it's the timing. It's that they don't have enough time to implement and start brand new. And when you try to plug and play, there's no next man up for Kelce. I have too much respect for Travis Kelce as an athlete to say the next guy up is going to be as good as him. And you could run the same exact offensive scheme that you thought you was going to run when you thought you had Kelce in there. You're going to have to switch it up. And when you're switching it up this close to game time, it's not good for you, bro.
That's where the mistakes come in.
It's just not good. I don't care how good Mahomes is. We got to give credit to Detroit too.
Yeah.
On both sides of the field because everybody's healthy in week 1.
So, with that being said, I think we all across the board is picking Detroit. I was gonna pick Detroit anyway, but I was picking them close. You know what I mean? I thought it was gonna be a close game. You know what I'm saying? Not no touchdown, no 2 touchdowns, just a close game. So this is the part of the show I like to call blind reaction.
Wait. One more thing, right? One more thing we got to realize, right? Why I call the game how I call the game, right? If there's no Travis Kelce, can you name me Patrick Mahomes' top 3 with targets? Receiving targets?
No.
No.
But listen, but that's what makes Patrick Mahomes because I promise you, somebody we don't know is gonna have over 100 yards that game.
I'm gonna watch so I can pick him up in my fantasy.
I've been a part of about 5 mock drafts and about 3 real drafts, and his first. His top receiver is probably going to be maybe Kadarius Toney. He's not getting drafted. You know, Kyler Moore, he's not getting drafted. Richie James ain't getting drafted. Like, none of the receivers that play for the Kansas City Chiefs are being drafted. But Travis Kelce is going within the first 5 picks of any draft.
You know what's crazy? Not just that, Mahomes too.
Patrick Mahomes too. He's not.
Meanwhile,
he's quarterback drafted.
We don't even know who he's throwing to.
like I said, I've been a part of about probably 8 to 10 drafts. Some fantasy, some real. But Pat Mahomes has been the first quarterback taken in every draft. Every last one of them. The first quarterback off the board has been last year's MVP, Super Bowl MVP, Patty Mahomes.
Yeah.
You don't have Travis Kelce. None of your receivers are going at all. They're not even being drafted. They're not even being drafted at all.
It's like Brady and Gronk. Yeah, it's like Brady and Gronk. You know, you could never draft New England's running backs. You couldn't really draft their receivers because Belichick never ran the same game plan twice. But you always knew, if all else failed, Gronk gonna find a way to get open. So it's kind of like the same thing for Kelce. Kelce, he's always been their safety valve, and you would think for someone that size, how does he consistently get open? It's crazy. He doesn't have blinding speed or anything like that, and his routes are usually fairly simple. But my dude is always open, and Patrick always finds him. So, you know, it's a different dynamic if he's not in the game, for sure, 100%. 100%.
Well, we definitely gonna see. But once again, this is my segment of the show I like to call Blind Reaction. And I want to get you guys' blind reaction to this story.
Okay.
Jaguars head coach. I'm gonna keep it football. Jaguars head coach Doug Peterson cut his son on roster deadline day. So my question is, if your son tried out for your team, could you or would you cut him?
I mean, as a father, if I'm doing my job as a father and my son can't play, I gotta cut him. Because my ass probably told you to go to school. Your dumb ass wanted to play football and you're not good enough, so I'm going to cut you. So that way you can get back in your books or become an assistant coach with me or something. I mean, I look, we've seen it in the NBA where it doesn't work. Austin Rivers did not benefit from playing with his father. He didn't. Nepotism is great. I got no problem with nepotism, but you could lose an entire 53-man roster if you pick your son over another dude that really deserved to play. And in the NFL, that last roster spot could be a difference between somebody having to go get a day job and pulling their mom out the hood. Like, you can't look, if this was college, go ahead, put your son in there. He could be a punter, whatever. But in the NFL, everybody got to earn that spot. And if your son ain't good enough, cut him. I'm done. I would cut him.
I'm happy you brought that up. I'm so happy you brought that up, my good brother, because we spoke about Urban Meyer and Tim Tebow just last fucking year for the same organization a few years ago. All right, and it's very fucking similar. Urban Meyer had Tim Tebow make that fucking team as a tight end when he didn't deserve that spot.
Thank you.
So I totally fucking agree with Doug Peterson cutting your fucking son because he doesn't deserve the spot. As a man, I'm the breadwinner for the family, my nigga. If you was nice enough to earn the millions for the motherfucking family, I would step aside. But until you could do that, my guy,
right,
earn your fucking roster spot.
Right.
This is a league of men. Emotions are put to the side because I got a big contract. You know what I'm talking about? So Urban Meyer is no longer there. That motherfucker Tim Tebow ain't last. And now we got Doug Peterson, we got Sunshine, we got Travis Etienne, we got Calvin Ridley. There's hope in Jacksonville. So it's to everything. So I'm happy, my brother. You put that out there so I could take it where I just took it. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I feel about that situation. Good fucking job. Cup that man because you don't deserve that shit.
Yeah.
Period. Listen,
1,000%.
Listen, I respect both of your opinions. I had to ask because I'm like, that had to be a tough cut. That had to be a tough cut. But if he didn't deserve it, he didn't deserve it. And I totally agree with you. I'm gonna I'll give you one more blind reaction before we get out of here. I know Kay, at least Kay had to hear about this story, right? What if any should be the repercussions if this actually happens to this person? Staying on football. Eli Apple's baby mama had offered to pay a fine for whoever injures him this season. She also has kids by NFL players Geno Smith and Josh Jacobs. So if he get mashed up in a game by an opposing player, you know what I'm saying? Now, people been out like Tyreek Hill. There've been plenty of players out for Eli Apple, but if somebody clipped this dude and injure him, should this be any repercussions to the baby Bob?
I can't say I heard this story, but yo, bitches ain't shit, man. I mean, how?
Yo.
Because I'm assuming he's paying child support, right? So why would you fuck up? That means she got 3 revenue streams, right? She got baby by 3 of them, right?
Geno Smith, Josh Jacobs, who just got another little deal, and Eli.
Like, the minute Eli Apple get clipped, now Geno got to throw more touchdowns to feed this kid. Come on now, it don't make no damn sense, you know. Like, you know, Geno gonna be tight if he get hurt, because now she gonna be expecting Geno to put in more. That don't make no damn sense. If you got 3 baby daddies, you want them all working so that you don't gotta work. Mind you, not that I support that way of life, because if you got 3 baby daddies, there's something wrong with you, in my opinion. But that's just me. But you know what? I think they should do to her what they did to Sean Payton and Greg Williams. Because what she's doing, she's setting up a bounty, is what she's doing.
That's basically what she's doing, yep.
And if he gets hurt, he don't got to pay child support no matter when he gets back from injury. Because she made it personal. If he take that to the court, what do you think the court is going to say? She put a hit on him. That's basically what she did.
Fuck that hoe. That hoe should go to jail. How fucking dare she? I'm glad you brought up the point that the bitch got bred. I mean, she got kids by Geno Smith. Fuck everybody else. Forget Josh Jacobs. Forget Eli Apple. Who does Eli Apple even play for? I think he just got picked up by the fucking Broncos, maybe the Saints. Eli's not that dude. But fucking Geno Smith just signed his contract this offseason, y'all. That bitch is paid. How fucking dare you put a hit out on a grown-ass man? Fuck that. She should go to jail. If he would have put a hit out on her for any hood bitch to wash her the fuck up, we would have heard about it. You know what I'm talking about? We would have heard about it. If he'd have said anybody in the area, wash this bitch up, I got $100,000 for you. I got $1,000 for you. Bitches will put hands on her for $1,000 fucking dollars, B. Fuck that. She should go to jail. Fuck out of here.
I got another question. Well, I got 2 questions. Is Josh Jacobs or Geno paying for the hit? That's the first question.
Then, you know how much money Geno's a top 10 paid NFL quarterback. He just got paid this offseason. I don't know exact numbers, but he's paid, bro. Like, he's paid. He's paid.
The second question I got is, how old is Geno's kid? Because you got to give her credit. If she had this baby by him when he wasn't making nothing, that means she's really a low quality. She ain't really out there getting the best. She might have just got lucky with Geno. Because Eli Apple hasn't been all that good for a minute now.
I fucked with you because Josh Jacobs was a nigga who was sleeping on his fucking truck. That nigga was from the bottom up, my nigga.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Been around this league for a minute. Eli Apple is another scraping the bottom ass nigga. None of these niggas was top of the fucking prime ass niggas, you heard? And this was just giving the up to all.
She going around getting niggas with potential.
Yo, son, she struck gold with Gino, son.
Yo, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yo, hey, listen, I know Josh Jacobs ain't getting no crazy money. What he just signed for like 11 mil, like 10 mil?
Nah, 12 mil. He signed for 12 mil.
So he ain't getting a bunch of money, but his payday was coming and she was banking on it. Eli Apple always been a second tier, third tier.
Broke this nigga out of all of them, you heard? And she want to put a hit at him. I dare you, huh?
Jacobs was already tight that they weren't trying to pay him. Now I know why. Because they probably had word that she was gonna do like these wage garnishments to pay for Eli's hit. So they're like, we're not gonna give you no guaranteed money. They're gonna get us. They're gonna get us as facilitating the hit.
Oh my God. Yo, that story was wild when I seen that. Yo, that is crazy.
She related to Harvey White?
I don't know. I tell you one thing, I'm about to look up the age of these kids.
I'm telling you, look up the ages. This way you can tell whether she's ride or die, stupid, or lucky. One of them.
I fucked with you for that one. I fucked with you for that breakdown for a lot of other reasons, but that fucking breakdown was real. I fucked with you.
She ride or die, lucky, or stupid.
Right. Because think about it. Who would have invested in Geno Smith after the Jets? You know what I'm saying? And Eli
Wait a minute. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know what Josh Jacobs look like. Between Gino and Eli Apple, them niggas is ugly niggas too.
That's my point. That's my point. And who would have thought Gino would have been the one to strike? So she might, she like I said, ride or die, lucky or stupid. One of the three.
Oh man. Yeah, that's one of those. I love that comeback and that response. That's a perfect way to end the show because that was hilarious. That was hilarious. Man. That's why I love the blind reactions because he said, "Put that bitch go to jail."
Yeah. Well, you know what's funny? When you said you were gonna bring some crazy story, I thought you was talking about the lady that caught the brick to the face.
Oh, no. That ain't, listen, that's not sports related unless it was Ron Artest.
What you mean? The dude was a discus thrower, apparently. Let me stop.
Ladies and gentlemen, please do not ban us. You gonna have all the women activists after us.
Nah, that's all jokes.
Yo, Ferg, you got kids. You go to hell for that one.
Oh man,
I can't help you with that one. Yo, so this was another episode of Straight from the Block. Only on 92.6 WKBP, The Spot. Ladies and gentlemen, I am your host, Plano, co-host for the evening. Hollow Item on the way out.
Man, you already know, like I said, Haitian Ferg, my brother, it's always a pleasure having me. My name is Mr. Martin, a.k.a. Asher Martin. Man, let's get it. We out.
Same here, gentlemen. Thanks for the invite, D. K, always good to see you. I love being on. Let's do it again.
We will. Stay close by the phone so I can holler at you. It's been a pleasure. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Good night.